There's something that I wish we talked about more, and it's just how much your, like, day-to-day experience changes when you not just understand your brain better, but understand, like, "Oh, yeah, I could see why I'm so misunderstood," or, "Yeah, now I'm kinda getting to see why we can be kinda hard to get," you know? And you're just like, "Yeah, I guess that makes sense 'cause you just see it, it's not that big a deal." It's like, "Yeah, I could see that." It's frustrating, yeah. Sometimes very lonely, but, like, I think this is kind of the cool thing about me of, like, a late life diagnosis, I guess. Not late life, you know what I mean? But just late diagnosis. You're into adulthood, you like, struggling for so long. I never would have guessed that's what it was. Like, why would I have even thought that, you know? You gotta realize, like, oh, yeah, because I had my own stigma that I had to overcome. So one, I think we late diagnosis folks are pretty understanding of like, yeah, I can see where the stigma comes from. I get it too. But I think we still would like to be understood. Just from my experience, nobody's like, I really love being misunderstood. I don't think I've heard anyone say that ever. So I don't know. If you love being misunderstood, I want to talk to you. I want to know what your experience is like. It's kind of cool when you like get to understand something about yourself. And then you're like, okay, like now I know how to like work with the strengths and I know how to work or I'm like doing better at working with the things that are the struggles. And it's been fun, like that growth journey. It's just kind of been fun, not like super, not fun, like this is awesome, fun like that. Fun just like because you give yourself permission to engage in life more. Fun because of that, and fun because you also like get a chance to let you stop like circling on that thing that you're like, what is this thing like that just makes me feel like how do I describe it? It's kind of like I've met people who are like, no, I never guessed I had maybe something different in my like wiring or something. The only people I've met who have said that is because they have something else. And they're like, oh, yeah, I always thought it was related to my dyslexia. I always thought I knew I had ADHD, but I didn't know I had autism. So I always thought it was related to my ADHD. So those are the only people I've met across like the hundreds that I've spoken to about their journeys and stuff through the years that just kind of like, oh, yeah, other people just kind of have this, yeah. There's enough of a sense. If I know there's something that I know I don't know, it's not nothing. Like when people tell me it's nothing, I know that that's not true. I know there's something I don't know. And it almost feels like I don't know. It's like you want to know it so bad because you're like, if I could just figure out where it gets me in trouble, that would be good because it's so inconsistent, and it's like across environments and it makes it so you like kind of don't engage with the world as much because you're kind of trying to like just maybe you're just a little bit more hesitant of like, is this a place where that thing might come out that whatever doesn't get something like a social norm or you just kind of be like, what did I get wrong? I don't get it. You start that like inner, I don't know. So I guess it becomes fun in the sense that like just kind of get to engage in the world more. And then it becomes fun when you're like doing something like I was just right now, I was doing this like legal stuff. And then for that, I had to look up some investment stuff. And I was sitting here and I was like, just remembering 18 months ago when there was something that happened. And I was like, I just had this like very conscious intention of, I really want to know how to think like an investor. And I, at that time, was thinking VC investor. Like, I really wanted to know that world, and there was something in my business where I'm like, there's some disconnect here that I want to understand. There's something I don't know about how VC investors think, and I want to, and how they're making their decisions. And I got super curious about that. Cool. Like, just kind of learning a lot more and stuff. But then I learned like all of this other stuff about just investing and ways to think about it, just kind of the culture. But I was sitting here and I was doing all that. And I was like, oh, yeah, I've just learned so much more. So I was just thinking, like, I didn't directly go to that, but I was like, that's funny. I had this haha, like, oh my gosh, that's so funny that 18 months ago, I really wanted to like think like an investor. And it's kind of like, well, I know it now. Like, life has taught me the lessons. But also, like, I did actually go and like follow that curiosity and learn a ton about investing. So, and then I just learned how to think better as an investor in my time and my energy, my capacity. Yes, that's a big one. My attention. that's been a big one through all this legal stuff. Where do I want to invest my intention and all my thoughts? Where are all the areas of life I keep investing because of that like sunk cost fallacy of wait, but I've already invested this much, already invested this much, I really just wanted to learn about investing money. But I got a lot more than that. In the legal process, or I guess any of these kinds of like hardships where there's just something so unpleasant that you just feel like it's just like holding you back from like this like latent potential. Anyway, so it was just cool because I was like, yeah, I don't even like, how when sometimes you want to learn about a topic, but it feels really intimidating for you. And so it's like it comes up and then you kind of like just back away, like, oh, I don't think I'm ready to, I want to learn, but I want to read that thing now. It's intimidating. You're like intimidated to go learn it. And it's just so funny because I was just looking at and I pulled up something and I just took this action that like was just nothing. I was like, I don't know how to do that, but I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna figure that out. And I just had this moment where I was like, oh my gosh, who are you? So I think that's the thing that's really cool about us ADHD people is like we are, well, I think that's the cool thing about just kind of getting to know how you work a lot better is the thing that's been fun, like the thing that's kind of led to this experience is I couldn't like just put something on I want to learn this because it's a good thing for me to learn because of this, we are very like interest based. We have like an interest based nervous system, some of us. And I'm saying ADHD, but it's like a pattern, right? So this, if you're listening to this, you just be like, oh, I have that in me, just it's like I fall into this pattern. Yeah, we have to like have a why. Like, why do I want to learn that? And gosh, when I want to learn about investing, it's like we gotta turn this all around. Like, that was definitely enough of a why. And then when we have our why, it's like move out of the way. Like, this is what I'm learning. I'm here to learn. I'm here to like my coach Dennis used to say, like, okay, like now that you've like gotten this, like how are you gonna learn it so it gets into your bones? And I like took that quite for a lot of us, it's like we have to be in it, you know, we have to for the kinesthetic learners, the ones that need like I need to see it, I need to hear it, I need to do it, sometimes two at once. Sometimes reading the book while listening to the audiobook, like we want to like absorb it like a sponge. And I just think that's kind of beautiful. So that part's just been fun to be like, yeah, that's how I like to learn. Like, I'm not gonna feel bad about it anymore. I'm not gonna make anyone make me feel bad because I went and got 8 books on the one topic that I want to learn about. And not like people would really make me feel bad, but it was like some people when there were like jokes about it. I felt insecure, and it's kind of one of those things where you're like, I don't really get why this is funny. Like, so that's the thing. It's like it becomes fun because you don't sit there at that moment and be like, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing that I feel this way about someone making a joke about something, but it seems like a part of me that's really important to me, but I don't know what it is. Like that, this is like the confusion we live with when we have these like just invisible differences that it's like we can't get the words to. We don't know quite how to like narrow down what it is. It's like, gosh, I don't know why, but I just feel like the way that I naturally engage in the world is wrong. We end up shape shifting quite a lot. And so the funness is just to be able to be like, yeah, I know this this is not common. I know that this is like an oddity, in me. And then when those moments come, you're just like, yeah, like you're kind of like, that's cool. That is me. And like those are fun moments. And again, it's not fun like it's like fun in like this very fun, peaceful way. It's peaceful. Yeah. Not the kind of peaceful that we I think know very well, which is when or that we think of. We think about like and a lot of us are just really sad a lot when we feel misunderstood. So there's something in that word peaceful that I don't know, I just always associated with some sort of like sadness, break from the sadness. It's kind of just thought and I think those are like the weird thing is that us feel really lonely a lot because there's like a disconnection in us that we know is there, but we're like, I'm trying to reach you, I can't reach you. Okay, so I'm totally behind the time. I know where this is coming from. Like, I'm so behind the times, you guys, but My kids and I are just trying to watch, or just starting to watch Stranger Things, so I'm just on season one. But it's like as the mom is trying to reach Will, I'm just like, come on, I know you're in there. Like, I know you're in there. It's like that feeling. And I'm so behind the times. Like, I know it's been out for a long time and I haven't watched it. Uh, so I'm just after this, I'm gonna go see if like other people are talking about this in their Miss Neurodiversities, or if this is the only way that like this brain's going. But yeah, it's like, gosh, I'm searching, like, what is this thing? And then there's like this loneliness. It's so I think a lot of us, yeah, have this like internal confusion because we're like there's just something in us that we're like trying to find, and we're like, are you in there? I'm trying to reach you, like, lead me to you. Anyways, so you just kind of have these fun moments where you're like, oh, that's really nice. And it's like very peaceful. And even that, it's like, oh, peaceful is warm and fun. Like, I never even thought that far. I don't know. You have fun getting to know you know? But actually, it takes a lot to get to that, because before you can even get to that, this is the part that is so hard, is there's just so much grief, for gosh, there's so many big pieces of my life that like now make sense. And a lot of people, we talk about like our struggles in schools and our struggles in work environments and relationships. I mean, time is a huge shame, like, thing for me. And it, like, when I understood it was tied to my ADHD, oh my gosh, like the progress I can make in 4 years, like, still, like, you know, there's still a lot of healing to do from the past. Because it's things like that where, like, I don't understand why I can't get this. Like, I think I'm a smart enough person, but why can't I get this basic, simple thing of going somewhere on time? Like, why is it so hard for me? So it's like, yeah, and then like understanding that for like maybe there's still a lot of shame, but like there's a lot more self-compassion and acceptance. So yeah, I guess with that, yeah, it's a good phase to keep working through the grief and the changes that you need to make, and getting to be comfortable with like protecting your needs and your time. It's kind of like I don't like the term permission slip, for this, because I've heard it used so negatively of like, oh, people just use it as excuse to not do this or not get involved in this way. But yeah, of just being like that, okay, whatever this thing is that other people do, yes, it's hard for them too. But like I always think that for them, it's probably like them carrying a 5 pound weight while doing that thing. And then for some of us, it's like 100 pound weight, and we're just like, why is this so hard for me? So then just like at least being able to have those moments and be like, yes, I'm still working at it, but maybe it's not that 5 pound weight. Maybe it's like feeling more like 50 pounds, whatever. Like just kind of being like, yes, at least it's not where it was. And just kind of being able to see your progress. So it gets to be a little bit easier to just make it through the day and then be able to just go back to your paperwork and be like, oh, well, I learned a lot more about bad investments. I wanted to learn it and life taught it. So